Good evening. Today we are going to be running through some more sound design. I get a lot of requests for sound design, so your wish is my command. One of the first things I would recommend for people looking to get into sound design is if you've got preset packs that you love the sound of, just pulling them apart, taking off all of the distortions, the reverbs, the compressions within Serum, taking the filters off, taking the LFOs off, so you can hear what the basic sound is before any of the processing after that is being done. So that is my first piece of advice, is pull it apart, see what it looks like under the hood, and that will give you a much better understanding of how these kind of sounds are made. So let's go through a few together. So today I'm thinking that we should go through some of those typical drum and bass sounding stabs or those whums, because in doing that we can go through quite a lot of the different layers of sound design, because they tend to be quite complexly layered from the very start of the wavetable right through to the LFOs, to the filters, to the effects. They tend to have a lot going on. So we're going to use that kind of sound as an example because it means we can go through every layer and we can see at each stage of the sound design what it is we're trying to achieve. And at the same time, we can get quite good results with just a few very basic tweaks. So I'm going to start off with basic shapes. That's always a good way to go when you're starting out. A very simple saw wave. Oscillator B, I'm going to do the same thing. Basic shapes and a saw wave. And we're going to have our sub. So I'm going to take the sub down 2 octaves. We're going to take the first oscillator down 2 octaves. And then we can play around with this last oscillator. I'll keep it at this octave for now, but we can play about with that later on, once we've got the sort of foundation and the shape of the sound. The first thing I would do is create the LFO, so we're using that as an envelope pretty much. So I would tend to put an LFO on the level of the first oscillator, definitely. So I'll take the level all the way down and drag the LFO one there. So now if I mute these two, the sound is going from 0 to 100 to 0. I will change this to envelope. So rather than when we hold the note, it keeps playing round and round, it only plays once. I might set the rate a little bit longer than that. And then we can create a bit of a shape. So you can do it a couple of ways. You can have a really quick attack, or you can have it a little bit slower. And then we can create a little curve like this. So now we can hear the general direction that we're going in. It's going to be that kind of stabby whum sound. Let's stick the sub on. And I'm going to stick this on direct out for now, which means that it's not going to be processed when we add effects on it later on. And then let's add this second oscillator in. So we can try put this LFO on this second oscillator as well and see how that sounds. So they're now both being affected by this LFO. And we can play with the octave and the semitone of this top one to give a little bit of a different tonality. Can maybe take it up to 7 semitones. Or to create that really dark sound, you can take it up by 1 semitone, which is something that happens a lot in heavy metal. Bands like Archetypes and Bring Me the Horizon, they're playing 2 separate strings, but the notes are 1 semitone apart from each other, and it gives this really dissonant and dark sound to it. And we can do a similar thing if you want to create that same vibe with drum and bass. So we have that on just 1 semitone up. Gives it a real dissonant vibe. But if you're doing more commercial, poppy sounding drum and bass, maybe that's not the kind of route that you go down. I would tend to do plus 7 semitones or leave it at 0. Whatever's your preference. Second, I would go to the filter and I would put this LFO on the filter as well. So we take the cutoff right down and LFO on there. And then we make sure that A and B are going through that filter. Now we can hear that the sound is starting to emerge a little bit more. And again, once you have this filter and the LFO set up, now it's maybe a good time to mess about with these notes and get the kind of sound that you want. And we can do a similar thing with the noise as well. So we'll stick the noise on, take the level right down and put the LFO through the noise as well. And I'll just take that down a little bit so it's not too loud. And the reason I would put noise in, because in a second we're going to put some distortion on it. And when you have this sound running through a distortion, the noise really helps to add a little bit of character to the sound. So let's add some distortion on. I would tend to crank it right up and play around with these settings here, and we can just listen to what we like best. So there you can really hear the growl is starting to come from this distortion. So I really like the tube one. Tube one sounds great to me. And then I might add some hyperdimension. So maybe the dimension I'd add some. Just adds a little bit of width. And then maybe a compressor on the multi-band setting. And we can just mess about with these bands on this compressor as well. So at the moment it sounds a little bit flat. So if we just play around with these a little bit. Actually adds a real amount of crunch to it, and as we can hear, the noise is sounding quite loud with that multi-band on, so I might just take that down a little bit. And then we can add a different amount of dimension to it by adding some reverb. So we can do just a normal reverb, or we can put this LFO on the mix of this reverb. So now the dry wet is being affected by this LFO. The level of the dry wet is going up here and then coming back down with the whole sound, so it sounds cohesive. Just adds a little something to give it a bit more depth. I might take the mix of this, compress it down a bit. And then to make it a little bit more interesting, we can use these FM settings. So let's try do FM from B. Let's just hear what that sounds like. So you can hear it just adds a little bit of something different. The more we turn it up, the more sort of gritty it gets. So that is definitely something I recommend playing with. And we can do the same either way. So we could try FM from the sub. So without the FM, a little bit cleaner. And then as we add a little bit of that in. Just dirties it up a little bit. So that's another way that we can just add a little bit of a different kind of character to the sound. So let's try this with some different wavetables. So let's start again. This time I'm thinking we do it with some sine waves. And we're going to do the same thing again. I'll take the sub down 3 octaves, first oscillate it down 3 octaves, and then we'll play around with this in a bit. And we'll do the same thing with our LFO, create a little bit of a shape, add that to the levels. Stick that on envelope, maybe take that down to half. And then I'll stick a bright white noise on there as well. So first thing I'm going to do is put distortion on it because it's difficult to hear at the moment. So what we can do with the drive is we can stick the LFO on the drive. So the drive is actually following this LFO as well. So that gives it another level of dimension. And then same again, maybe add some hyper. And then to make it a little bit more interesting, let's try stick a reverb on there. Use a different LFO this time to affect the mix. So let's take this down to a bar, stick it on envelope. And let's do something like this, where we're going to try and get the reverb to come in a little bit after that one has been hit. So let's send that to the mix. And then maybe we can stick it on the spin depth. And then we can play around with that and put that wherever we like. So just after there sounds pretty nice to me. And then we can try something like a flanger maybe. Or a phaser. And then maybe we can stick a filter on. So let's put the first LFO on this cutoff. Make sure A and B are both selected. And now we've got the basis of the structure of that sound design. Now we can mess about with the wavetables. We can mess about with the notes as well. So let's try use different wavetables. So now we've got a square and it adds just a little bit of a different dynamic. And there we have it, a fully fledged WOM. Beautiful. So the steps that I'm always trying to remember when I'm doing things like this is to first select your wavetables to get your general shape. And that totally depends on what you're wanting from the sound. So you can do a super fast attack, a little bit slower. We can make it really long. And then your filter, how much of the frequencies you're letting through, and then the processing after that is where it's really going to elevate it and give it the crunch and give it a little bit more character. And then once you've got that, I would tend to go back and then play around with your wavetables and your notes. That is where you can start to get some really interesting sounds. So we can go in and add any of these wavetables that we want and see what comes out. So let's give it a go. So that's a super easy way to get some really interesting sounds using Serum in no time at all. I do hope this has helped. Love to your mothers and have yourself a merry little Christmas.